My friends, let us gather our thoughts and consider the essence of human intimacy, not as a fleeting act, but as a bridge between two souls. In all things, the wise seek purpose, respect, and alignment with nature's order. What, then, can be said of those who approach intimacy as an act of devotion and care? The Stoics taught us to govern our actions with reason and to treat others with honor, for every interaction, however small, leaves its mark on the soul. To serve another with care, to give wholly and selflessly, reflects strength, not weakness. This is not an act of shame, but of understanding, to know the desires of the body and mind, and to meet them in harmony, with respect and intention. In intimacy, as in life, the question is not, "What shall I take?" but, "How may I give?" To offer oneself with humility is to embrace the essence of virtue, courage, wisdom, temperance, and justice. To dismiss such actions as base or demeaning is to misunderstand the power of connection. But let us be clear, acts of intimacy, however they manifest, are elevated only when rooted in mutual respect. What is dishonorable is not the act itself, but the absence of consent, care, or the wisdom to understand its significance. The wise seek balance, always considering the needs of the other alongside their own. Therefore, do not judge a man or a woman by the private expressions of their love, but by the spirit with which they engage. Is there dignity? Is there mutual care? Is there a reflection of the divine nature of partnership? If so, the act is not to be condemned, but embraced as part of the human experience. Remember the words of the Stoics, "The measure of a man is in his virtue, not the opinions of others." Let us focus then, not on the nature of the act, but on the quality of the heart behind it. Respect and intention elevate intimacy by creating a foundation where the act of connection transcends the physical realm and becomes something far deeper and more meaningful. When respect forms the cornerstone of intimacy, it fosters a mutual understanding that allows both individuals to feel valued, safe, and honored in their vulnerability. Respect, in its truest sense, is the recognition of another person's worth, dignity, and individuality. It demands that one sees their partner not merely as an object of desire, but as a human being with emotions, boundaries, and experiences that deserve acknowledgement. When this perspective becomes integral to an intimate relationship, it transforms every interaction into a shared experience built on trust, sincerity, and care. Intimacy is, at its core, an act of surrender, a mutual willingness to lower one's guard and allow another to step into the sacred spaces of the self. This surrender cannot occur without respect, for respect assures both parties that this vulnerability will not be exploited, dismissed, or trivialized. Respect creates the environment in which intimacy can thrive, not as a momentary act, but as an ongoing expression of connection. It validates the humanity of the other, emphasizing their unique value and ensuring that they feel seen, heard, and cherished in every interaction. However, respect alone is insufficient without intention. Intention is the conscious decision to approach intimacy with purpose and mindfulness. It is the acknowledgement that every action carries weight, every word resonates, and every moment spent together has the potential to either strengthen or weaken the bond. Intention ensures that intimacy is not a haphazard occurrence, but a deliberate choice to prioritize the well-being and happiness of the other person. When one acts with intention, they approach their partner with a heightened awareness of their needs, desires, and emotions. They listen attentively, respond thoughtfully, and engage meaningfully, ensuring that every encounter deepens the connection rather than merely satisfying superficial cravings. When respect and intention come together, they create a synergy that elevates intimacy beyond the physical. The physical aspect of intimacy, while important, is only one dimension of a much larger experience. Without respect and intention, it risks becoming hollow and unfulfilling. However, when infused with these qualities, it becomes a profound act of giving and receiving, a mutual exchange that nourishes the soul as much as the body. This is because respect and intention align the physical act with the emotional and spiritual aspects of connection. They remind both individuals that intimacy is not just about pleasure, but about partnership, not just about satisfaction, but about unity. In the absence of respect, intimacy can become transactional, a mere exchange devoid of deeper meaning. It may fulfill immediate desires but leaves a void that cannot be ignored in the long term. Similarly, intimacy without intention often feels mechanical, as though it lacks the emotional resonance that makes it truly special. Such interactions may leave individuals feeling disconnected or unfulfilled, as though something essential is missing. The absence of respect and intention reduces intimacy to its base elements, stripping it of its transformative potential and leaving both parties wanting for more. Respect and intention, when present, also encourage open communication, a critical element of any intimate relationship. They create a space where individuals feel safe to express their feelings, preferences, and boundaries without fear of judgment or rejection. Respect ensures that these expressions are heard and valued, while intention ensures that they are acted upon in ways that strengthen the bond. Together, they foster a dynamic where both individuals can be their authentic selves, free to explore their connection in a way that is both meaningful and empowering. This openness not only enhances the immediate experience of intimacy, but also lays the groundwork for a deeper, more enduring relationship. Furthermore, respect and intention elevate intimacy by fostering mutual growth. When one approaches intimacy with respect, they acknowledge their partner's individuality and the journey that has shaped them. They recognize that their partner's experiences, values, and aspirations are as important as their own. Intention, on the other hand, drives a desire to nurture this individuality, to support their partner's growth and fulfillment in every possible way. Intimacy then becomes a collaborative effort, a partnership where both individuals strive to bring out the best in each other. It becomes an act of co-creation, where the connection serves as a catalyst for mutual empowerment and transformation. This dynamic is particularly evident in the way respect and intention foster empathy. Respect involves stepping outside of oneself to consider the feelings, experiences, and perspectives of the other person. It requires a willingness to understand their joys and sorrows, their fears and aspirations, and to respond to them with compassion and care. Intention takes this a step further by translating empathy into action. It involves actively seeking to alleviate pain, enhance joy, and contribute to the overall well-being of the other person. This interplay between empathy and action deepens intimacy, creating a connection that is both tender and transformative. Respect and intention also cultivate a sense of presence in intimacy. They encourage individuals to be fully engaged in the moment, to set aside distractions and focus entirely on the connection at hand. This presence is a powerful force, for it communicates to the other person that they are valued. This level of engagement enhances the experience of intimacy, making it more profound and memorable for both individuals. Another dimension of respect and intention is their ability to foster a sense of equality in intimacy. Respect involves recognizing the inherent worth of the other person and treating them as an equal partner in the relationship. It rejects any notion of dominance or subordination, emphasizing instead the importance of mutual appreciation and cooperation. Intention reinforces this by ensuring that every interaction is guided by a desire to uplift and empower the other person. Together, they create a dynamic where both individuals feel valued and respected, where their voices are heard and their contributions are acknowledged. This sense of equality enhances the experience of intimacy, making it a true partnership rather than a one-sided endeavor. Respect and intention also have a profound impact on the longevity of intimacy. Relationships built on these principles are more likely to withstand the challenges and changes that life inevitably brings. Respect ensures that both individuals feel valued and appreciated, even in difficult times, while intention drives a commitment to work through challenges and nurture the connection. Inside our hands and the connection together they create a foundation of trust and resilience, enabling the relationship to grow and evolve over time. In addition to enhancing the immediate experience of intimacy, respect and intention also contribute to personal growth and self-discovery. They encourage individuals to reflect on their own values, desires, and boundaries, fostering a deeper understanding of themselves and their needs. This self-awareness not only enhances the quality of the connection, but also contributes to a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose in life. Intimacy, then, becomes a journey of exploration and discovery, a path that leads to greater self-awareness and personal empowerment. Ultimately, respect and intention remind us that intimacy is not just about what we do, but about how and why we do it. They encourage us to approach our connections with mindfulness, sincerity, and care, to see our partners as equals, and to honor the sacredness of the bond we share. By grounding intimacy in these principles, we elevate it from a fleeting act to a profound expression of love and connection, a testament to the beauty and power of human relationships. Selflessness reflects strength, not weakness, because it requires a deep understanding of oneself, an unwavering confidence in one's values, and the ability to prioritize the needs and well-being of others without losing one's sense of identity. It is often misunderstood in a world that equates strength with dominance, control, and self-interest. However, true strength lies not in asserting one's will over others, but in having the courage and compassion to extend oneself for the benefit of others, even when there is no expectation of reciprocity. This selflessness is not a denial of one's needs or desires, but an intentional choice to align one's actions with the higher virtues of kindness, generosity, and empathy. It is an act of giving that stems from abundance, not deficiency, and a reflection of inner strength rather than vulnerability. To be selfless requires a profound sense of security in who one is and what one stands for. A selfless person does not feel diminished by their acts of giving because their sense of self-worth is not dependent on external validation or recognition. Instead, they draw strength from their inner reservoir of values, principles, and a sense of purpose that transcends their immediate desires. This inner strength enables them to act with integrity, even in the face of adversity or misunderstanding. They understand that selflessness is not a sign of submission, but a testament to their ability to rise above selfish impulses and contribute to something greater than themselves. True selflessness also demands emotional resilience. It takes strength to put others first, especially when it requires personal sacrifice or when the act of giving is met with indifference or ingratitude. A selfless person does not act out of a need for approval or a desire to be seen as noble. They act because they recognize the inherent value in serving others. This resilience allows them to continue giving, even when it goes unnoticed, because their actions are guided by an internal compass rather than external rewards. They find fulfillment in the act itself, knowing that their efforts have the potential to create positive change, however small or unacknowledged it may be. Selflessness is also a reflection of humility. a quality that is often misunderstood as a lack of confidence or assertiveness. However, humility is not about diminishing oneself. It is about having an accurate perception of one's place in the larger context of life. A humble person understands that their needs and desires are not the only ones that matter, and that the world does not revolve around them. This perspective allows them to see the interconnectedness of all people and to act in ways that benefit the collective rather than just the individual. Humility, when paired with selflessness, creates a powerful force for good, as it enables individuals to approach others with genuine care and an open heart, free from the constraints of ego or self-interest. Selflessness also reflects strength because it requires the ability to empathize with others and to understand their experiences, struggles, and emotions. Empathy is not a passive quality. It is an active process that demands emotional intelligence, attentiveness, and a willingness to engage with others on a deep and meaningful level. To truly empathize with someone is to step into their shoes, to see the world from their perspective, and to feel their joys and sorrows as if they were your own. This level of connection requires vulnerability, as it involves opening oneself up to the emotions and experiences of others. However, it is through this vulnerability that selflessness becomes a transformative act, one that has the power to heal, uplift, and inspire. The strength of selflessness is also evident in its ability to build and sustain relationships. In any meaningful relationship, whether it is with a partner, family member, friend, or colleague, selflessness plays a crucial role in fostering trust, understanding, and mutual respect. It is through acts of selflessness that individuals demonstrate their commitment to the relationship and their willingness to prioritize the needs and happiness of the other person. This does not mean that selflessness requires self-neglect. Rather, it involves finding a balance where one's own needs are met while also supporting and uplifting others. A selfless person understands that relationships thrive when both parties are willing to give and take, and they approach their connections with a spirit of generosity and respect. Selflessness also has the power to inspire others. When individuals witness acts of selflessness, they are often moved by the strength, courage, and compassion it takes to put others first. These acts serve as a reminder of the potential for goodness within all of us and can motivate others to act with similar kindness and generosity. In this way, selflessness creates a ripple effect, spreading positivity and inspiring change on a broader scale. It is a quiet but profound strength, one that has the ability to transform not only individual lives, but also communities and societies. At its core, selflessness is an expression of love, not just romantic or familial love, but a universal love that recognizes the inherent worth and dignity of every individual. This love is not conditional or transactional. It is given freely and without expectation. To love in this way requires immense strength, as it involves letting go of one's own desires and focusing instead on the well-being of others. This love is not a weakness but a reflection of the highest form of human strength, the ability to give of oneself for the sake of another. Selflessness also aligns with the natural rhythms of life, where giving and receiving are part of a continuous cycle. Just as the sun gives light without expecting anything in return, or a tree provides shade without demanding acknowledgement, acts of selflessness reflect an understanding of this universal principle. They remind us that we are not isolated beings, but part of a greater whole, and that our actions have the power to contribute to the collective well-being. By giving selflessly, we become part of this cycle, enriching not only the lives of others but also our own. To act selflessly is also to embrace uncertainty. It often involves stepping into the unknown, taking risks, and making sacrifices without any guarantee of a positive outcome. This requires courage, as it goes against the instinct for self-preservation and the desire for control. However, it is in this willingness to embrace uncertainty that selflessness reveals its strength. It demonstrates a deep trust in the process of life and a belief in the inherent goodness of humanity. This trust allows selfless individuals to act with confidence and purpose, even when the path is unclear or the rewards are uncertain. Selflessness is not about martyrdom or self-denial. It is about living in alignment with one's highest values and principles. It is about recognizing that true strength lies not in accumulating power or possessions, but in the ability to give freely and generously. It is about understanding that the greatest fulfillment comes not from serving oneself, but from serving others. In this way, selflessness becomes a source of strength, one that empowers individuals to act with integrity, compassion, and purpose. Selflessness also teaches us the value of gratitude. When we give selflessly, we become more aware of the interconnectedness of life and the many ways in which we are supported by others. This awareness fosters a sense of gratitude, which in turn strengthens our capacity to give. Gratitude and selflessness create a virtuous cycle, where the act of giving reinforces our appreciation for the gifts we have received. And this appreciation inspires us to give even more. This cycle is a testament to the strength of selflessness, as it demonstrates its ability to create positive and lasting change in both the giver and the receiver. In a world that often equates strength with self-interest and individualism, selflessness stands as a powerful counterpoint. It reminds us that true strength is not about domination or control, but about connection, compassion, and the ability to act for the greater good. It challenges us to look beyond our own desires and to consider the needs and well-being of others. It encourages us to live with intention, to act with integrity, and to approach each interaction with an open heart and a generous spirit. Selflessness is not a sign of weakness, but a reflection of the highest form of strength, one that has the power to transform individuals, relationships, and the world at large. Virtue over judgment is a principle that emphasizes the importance of living in alignment with one's moral and ethical values, rather than being swayed by the opinions, criticisms, or judgments of others. It calls for a focus on cultivating inner character, guided by principles like honesty, integrity, compassion, and humility, rather than seeking validation or avoiding condemnation from the outside world. In this way, virtue becomes a foundation for personal growth and fulfillment, while judgment, often shallow and fleeting, serves as a distraction from what truly matters. When one prioritizes virtue over judgment, they align their actions with their higher self, demonstrating strength, wisdom, and authenticity in the face of external. To prioritize virtue over judgment requires a clear understanding of what virtue means in the context of one's life. Virtue is not a rigid set of rules, but a dynamic framework that reflects universal principles of goodness and decency. It is about striving to do what is right even when it is inconvenient or goes unnoticed. Virtue demands courage, as it often involves resisting the temptation to conform to societal norms or expectations that conflict with one's values. It requires the wisdom to distinguish between what is popular and what is right, and the strength to choose the latter, even in the face of criticism or misunderstanding. Judgment, on the other hand, is often rooted in superficiality. It reflects the biases, insecurities, and assumptions of the individual or society that casts it. Those who prioritize judgment over virtue risk becoming prisoners of the opinions of others, constantly seeking approval or avoiding disapproval. This preoccupation with judgment can lead to a life that is unfulfilled and inauthentic, as it is shaped more by external influences than by one's inner convictions. To live under the weight of judgment is to relinquish control of one's own narrative allowing others to dictate one's choices, values, and sense of self-worth. Choosing virtue over judgment involves a shift in focus, from external validation to internal alignment. When one acts with virtue, they are guided by their own moral compass, not by the shifting tides of public opinion. This alignment creates a sense of peace and confidence, as one knows that their actions are rooted in what they believe to be right and just. It liberates them from the need to please others or to conform to expectations that do not resonate with their true self. This inner freedom is one of the greatest gifts of prioritizing virtue, as it allows individuals to live authentically and with integrity. The power of virtue lies in its universality and timelessness. Virtue transcends cultural, social, and temporal boundaries, reflecting principles that are universally recognized as good and meaningful. While judgment is often subjective, varying from person to person and context to context, virtue provides a consistent framework for navigating life's complexities. It serves as a guiding light, helping individuals to make decisions that are not only beneficial to themselves, but also to others. Virtue fosters a sense of interconnectedness, as it emphasizes values like kindness, fairness, and empathy that contribute to the collective well-being. Judgment, in contrast, is often divisive. It separates individuals into categories of right and wrong, acceptable and unacceptable, worthy and unworthy. This tendency to judge creates barriers between people, fostering misunderstanding, resentment, and conflict.